Okay, so there was a video I saw of a woman. It was just on YouTube. Who she was saying, I think it was on TikTok, that she was jealous of another woman who had just found like a relationship, and they had known each other for not a very long time at all, and she was so happy and they got along so well and everything was going so great, and this other woman was just making a video about how she had been single for 3 years and was jealous of that because that other woman, I think that she worked with or whatever, had found a relationship that she was happy to be in, and was talking about it with everyone and whatnot. Come to find out, this other woman who, you know, uh, by all accounts was in shape, was relatively young, and probably by most people would grade her as pretty good looking. She said she had been on 400 first dates and was still single. 400. I have a little bit of a cough, but 400 first dates, still single. I don't think she. I didn't watch. It was just a clip, so I don't know if she got into why she wasn't potentially dating one of those 400 people that she went out on first dates with. But it's kind of the common denominator thing. What's the common denominator in all 400 of those interactions? It's the woman, right? You have 400 different men. Is she trying to say that four out of 400 potential people, that not one of them would have worked? I find that very difficult to believe, because she probably wouldn't have gone out with the guy if she wasn't at least somewhat attracted to him. If it's an online dating type thing, she would have seen, this guy's too short, this guy's too fat, I don't like what that guy does for work, that guy has red hair, I don't like the color of his pants, whatever, right? So she's already really self-selecting a small pool of men. And 400 was the figure, I guess, that she said. But 400 people? That tells you that the problem is really with you, right? It's with the person who is going on the dates with 400 different people. I'm going to think that, I would say I don't know. Most men probably don't even go on more than like 10 dates, maybe in their whole life. I could be wrong, but most men probably don't even go on dates. It's so, especially now, it's so difficult, unless you're just a very good looking person on an app to get a date. And then in person, interactions, people don't really want to be approached anymore in person. You're taking a risk of, don't talk to me, you're creepy, I'm going to call the police. It's a lot of men are just like, I'm not even going to do that anymore. So, 400 times, again, you found a reason you found some sort of problem with every single one of those guys. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm just saying, if you have an expectation that you want to be in like a long-term, she's saying, I want to have a partner or a partner in crime or whatever. 400 people that you're going to go through, and there's an issue with every single one of them, to not at least try a longer-term relationship out of 400 potential candidates. And again, like I said, these aren't just 400 random men. These are most assuredly guys that probably, meet her standards in terms of looks, in terms of probably occupation and how they dress and all these other things, right? Or else she wouldn't. All the other guys that don't meet her expectations, she's not even messaging them. She's not matching with them. It's just like, you don't ever hear back from them, right? You don't ever hear anything. She just declines you. So these are 400 people that, at least on the periphery, meet her criteria, and she's still deciding not to enter into a long-term relationship. So I don't blame women for being picky, but if you've gone through that many people and still can't find at least multiple people that you'd want to consider. I would say out of like every 10 or 20 people, I mean, that seems like a lot to me, to go on 10 different dates and talk with 10 different people and kind of text with 10 different people and get to know them and try to build some rapport with even 10 people. That takes a good amount of time. 10 people? She says 400 people she's gone on first dates with. I could try probably for the rest of my life, and I think I might not be able to go on 400 first dates, especially with any women that I actually find attractive, right? I could probably try to go on 400 first dates with any woman. It didn't matter her age or how she looked or anything. And I bet almost all of them would just probably say no, because it seems like such a weird, in person, you're probably going to have a 90% strikeout rate, especially if you're not attractive or overly attractive or tall or just naturally, welcoming to women physically. And then online, if you don't look a certain way online, it's just a complete waste of time. You're only going to match with, like, I can tell you from my own experience when I was on those apps, I don't know, 5 years ago or so, just a complete waste of time. I mean, you're the only people you end up like matching with are bots and like transgender people who are looking for some weird sort of. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of that. I'm just saying they were looking for some sort of weird arrangement where it's like, what the heck? How did you end up on here, right? Just not normal interactions. Like I was just like, hey, someone lives local to you, they're a woman, or if you're a woman, that they're a man. I didn't say that I was interested in men, and I was still getting some people that, for whatever reason, ended up, on that other side, right? So, to me, it was just a total waste of time, just absolutely waste of time. If you were a guy that most women found physically attractive, it was very much worth your time, because you would have a lot of women who were interested in, getting to know you, or at least giving you a chance. So, I don't know why she has she's just delusional, really. You think you can go through 400 people and then just say no to every single one? I mean, I probably don't even know 400 people, let alone actually try to like date them or get to know them. Or who has the time? Who has the time? That must be one of the primary things you're doing in your life. It was like going on dates every night. And men, I think it is kind of men's issue. I mean, they give so much free attention and admiration and adulation to women for nothing, just at the hope that they can maybe sleep with them or whatever, right? Like they'll buy them dinner, they'll reach out to them constantly, they'll kind of make themselves look like a fool, they'll agree to do stuff which is not equal, just so that they can hopefully go on a date and then maybe sleep with the woman. And there's that many guys that are willing to do that. It's kind of nature. It's kind of just men having such a high desire for female to sleep with women, I guess, especially when the men are probably younger. But when they're the ones always doing the chasing, the woman has such an easy time of just sitting there and saying, I don't like you. I got 100 other guys that are interested in me. I don't like your hat. I don't like your hair. I don't like what you're wearing. I don't like that you like Donald Trump. I don't like that you have a Chevy. I don't like the way I don't like your shoes. I mean, literally, I bet you there's things as just totally not important as that, which she is saying, I don't want to talk to that guy again. Because she has the idea that she can be so picky. And I would say she's probably right. I mean, if she has 400 dates in a relatively short period of time, that tells you that she has basically unlimited options, at least right now. Now, how many of those guys really want to be with her? Who knows? I mean, probably a low percentage. The guy is probably just looking to put in a minimal amount of work and then hook up with the woman and probably not have anything else happen. But as men, if you if you basically just give women everything they want, and allow them to just sit there and say yes or no to so many options, they're going to do that. And it's really more of a problem with men being so hungry for female attention and female desire that they just make complete fools of themselves. They will go out of their way to talk to women, to try to get them to do stuff with them, and it really kind of, your own self-respect level has to go down, because it's like, you wouldn't do this thing for a guy, right? This isn't really a fair trade. I'm offering to take you to dinner. I have to follow up with you so many times. I have to make all these concessions just for a little bit of your time, just in the hope that you might talk to me and get to know me, and maybe sleep with me if I'm lucky, and if I play all my cards right. It's like, of course, as men get older, they realize, I'm not going to waste my time with women that don't actually want to be with me. You have to be at least showing that you care, and that you're investing some time as well into the guy, or else older guys are just going to be like, this isn't worth my time. Especially if it's a situation where you're actually trying to find a partner, not just like a one-time hookup situation. So I just thought it was crazy. I mean, 400. You think about 400, you could use it in a different context. It's like maybe looking at 400 cars and saying that every single one of those cars isn't going to work for you. This one didn't have the leather seat. This one didn't have the right cup holder. This one didn't have the type of, steering wheel that I wanted. This one doesn't have the button that makes the tailgate go up, or the trunk go up on its own. This one, is red. It's just like ridiculous. At a certain point, it's like, you have to understand not everything is going to be perfect, but if you're looking for transportation, it's like, hey, this car meets a lot of the things I'm looking for. It might not have everything, but as a package, maybe I'm going to learn to, this is going to be a good option. If I wanted like a custom made car with every single option and color and engine, thing, like, most people just wouldn't be able to do that. It would be like completely customizing something from the factory, which would cost, it wouldn't be, it's not realistic, right? Only like Ferrari and all these supercars do that, and those cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So when you're trying to do that with people, again, people aren't really mass produced. Everyone's all individual, and they have different qualities that you have to learn to, like over time, maybe, or learn to accept and put up with, right? Because everyone's different. But from her shoes, it's like, I'm just looking for the person that matches every single one of these criteria, and who knows what that criteria is. I'm assuming it's a long, long list. As soon as there's one thing that you do that they don't like, then again, it could be something just totally as petty as the way you eat your food, or the way you say a certain word, maybe, or how you, again, I don't know, how you open the door to a car. I mean, it could be any one of those things that are totally irrelevant, that in her mind are like, I'm going to try someone else. Maybe there's a better someone out there. Maybe I can meet the guy that's that tall and is a doctor, and, is going to solve world peace and all, it's just like, you're never going to find that person. It's a fairy tale in your mind. It's like a dream when you're a young girl of who this prince is going to be, and you're going to ride off in the sunset together. It's a Disney story. It's not real life. So probably at some point that person's going to realize, wow, I screwed up and I was way too picky, and now the reality is she's just going to be alone, right? No, in her mind, no one really meets her standards, but at the end of the day, she's going to be the one that is going to be alone, because her standards are just totally unrealistic. So that's enough on that. Let me know what you think. If you're new, you can like the video or subscribe if you want, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.